What fact are you tired of explaining to people? That when you earn more money that puts you into a higher tax bracket, only the amount above that bracket gets taxed at the higher rate, not your entire income. Edit. In the US. That you can't specifically lose belly fat by doing sit-ups. Yes, the sit-ups will strengthen and tone your abs, but the definition won't show through the fat, and you'll still have a belly. Edit. Apparently, I'm an idiot and have been using tone wrong. Please see the responses below for proper terms and usages. Thank you for your understanding. Equals. The monitor is not the computer. Turning off the monitor will do literally nothing to the computer. Edit. I know all about all-in-ones. I'm a Mac user. Hair does not grow longer and thicker because you have shaved it. It grows longer and thicker because you are no longer 11 years old. That antibiotics treat bacterial infections, not viral ones. No, antibiotics won't help your cold. Everything is a chemical. Food is made of chemicals. You are made of chemicals. Climate change, global warming is not about saving planet, it's actually about saving humanity. Our planet will be fine. My phone number. I moved to Canada 2 years ago, and on my second day in Toronto I purchased a SIM card from Kudo with a phone number that begins with 437. Little did I know 437 was a new Ontario area code that had only just been made active. Everyone in Toronto has a phone number that begins with either 416 or 647. So when I begin quoting my number to someone as 437, I'm either met with a blank confused face, or I get asked, you mean 647? It happens every time. Without doubt. It got even worse when I moved to Montreal. The two main area codes here are 514 and 438. So you can imagine the reactions I get when I quote 437. Recently I emailed my cell number to a group of colleagues and one of them even replied, all simply saying 438. No. 43 bloody 7. TL. I am tired of explaining my Canadian cell phone area code. That losing weight really is just calories in versus calories out. No fad diets or gimmicks are going to work in the long run. When you play blackjack you don't have to beat each other, only the dealer. You shouldn't fully drain batteries to make them last longer. That was old info that only applied to Nikon and not modern lithium batteries or NIM. The frivolous McDonald's hot coffee lawsuit. It was a 79-year-old grandma sitting in a parked car. The coffee was 180-190 degrees. She suffered third-degree burns on her crotch, spent a week in the hospital, and had permanent disfigurement. She repeatedly tried to settle for the cost of her medical bills, to which McDonald's offered $800 to cover her bills. Finally she sued them for gross negligence, as documents showed that McDonald's not only knew about the danger, including 700 reports of similar incidents, but had repeatedly refused to implement any changes. She was awarded massive punitive damages because a large company completely refused to take any action to address a well-known danger, not because she was greedy and filed a frivolous lawsuit. Edit. Holy caffeine Batman. Gold. Time to go buy a nice cup of cold brew to celebrate. That just because an opinion is popular doesn't mean it is correct. I have depression. I am sad all the time. I know I have a great life. Telling me I shouldn't be so sad with my awesome life makes me feel ducking worse. No. Trying to cheer myself up doesn't work. No, this is not just a phase. Depression isn't like emo. I don't wear eyeliner or tight jeans. I did like My Chemical Romance, but that's besides the point. Yes, I have tried changing my diet. Exercise? Never heard of that word. You are literally the first person to suggest it to me. It doesn't work. Yes, I have tried running. I know it helps you get the anger out. I'm not angry. Ibuprofen and Motrin are the same thing. Why the hell will no one believe that? They always insist on looking it up and Google never fails me, so they just kinda glare at me. Edit. Changed Motrin to Motrin. Sorry guys, I'm on mobile. Knowledge does not equal intelligence. Just because somebody was never taught how to do something or how something works, doesn't mean they're an idiot. Hell, they could even be much smarter than you. Edit. That you is staying. Live with it. For Americans, innocent until proven guilty. Bisexuality. I'm attracted to both genders. That's literally it. Doesn't mean I'm attracted to everyone. Want to have a threesome. I'm not more likely to cheat. That snow in the winter doesn't mean global warming is a lie. Weather and climate are not the same thing. It looks like a pyramid because it's a pyramid scheme. Should have. Should have. US. Specific. 1. You are not getting money from the government when you get a tax refund. You are getting your own money that you just lent to the government at 0% interest. 2. Freedom of speech does not mean that you can say whatever you want and not face consequences. People who call you out on your bullet are not violating your First Amendment rights. Edit. People are absolutely correct in pointing out that in some cases low-income families have refundable tax credits that exceed the amount they paid in payroll tax throughout the year. The people I'm tired of explaining this to, though, are the people in my office with six-figure household incomes, bragging about getting a $5,000 tax refund. Obama is only one person. He doesn't make every governmental law, policy and decision. He isn't directly responsible for everything going wrong in your life. Edit. Yay for the gold. Thanks stranger Obama. Wary does not mean skeptical, hesitant, suspicious. The word is wary. Your mom's not wary of online shopping. She's wary of it. Well, she might be wary of it, but if that's the case, she likely wasn't wary of it. Former police officer here. I don't know why the officer deputy trooper in another state stopped your best friend's sister for like no reason. I'm not a house husband because I'm lazy and don't want to work. I chose to stay home and support my wife while she brings in the bread. I've accepted this and you should look past societal stereotypes and stop with the condescension. That the correct phrase is couldn't care less and not could care less. Soaking okra in water is not going to cure my type 1 diabetes nor any of the praying or crazy snake oil things you've suggested. My body doesn't make insulin, so I therefore need insulin from an external source. Edit. For the last time people, there is gravity in space. It's amazing how many people don't understand this. Just because someone is black, it doesn't automatically mean they're African American. Atheism is not a belief system, but instead is a lack of belief. Edit. Tired of defending my stance on this now. Pretty sure every point and comment has been made from calling me a shoe atheist to Ming and telling me I don't understand and that it takes more faith to not believe. Wrestling is scripted, not fake. GMOs and MSG are not bad for your health. Cows are female. Male cattle are bulls or steers, if castrated. I am an agriculture teacher and this is the hardest thing to get students and some adults to understand. Not every bovine in a field is a cow. Whoa, I feel better now that I got that off my chest. Edited. I am teaching the proper names to my students as part of our curriculum. Full stop. Bipolar disorder is deeper than being mad 5 minutes ago and now being perfectly fine. Sure, some people do rapid cycle, but it just isn't that simple. And the weather cannot have bipolar disorder. And bipolar disorder is not the same thing as PMS. Those symptoms can get worse while menstruating. They are completely unrelated. Also, OCD can be obsessive intrusive thoughts. Not everyone with OCD is so totes obsessed with cleaning. You can have OCD and be a slob. It is about obsessive behavior that interferes with your life. Mental disorders are not cute and quirky. They are literally the worst. That I can talk about flaws in your argument without disputing its conclusion. Or worse, automatically arguing for the opposite. The Electoral College was not created because they didn't have the technology to have an informed populace or to run an election. They could have had national elections where the president was elected by popular vote back then. If that's what they wanted to do, it was created so that the smaller states would have a say in the presidency. Aspartame is one of the best studied food additives in the world. It's not dangerous. It doesn't cause cancer. And it's not some mysterious chemical, whatever it is that layman health nuts think that word means. It's a peptide, an itty bitty protein. Our body is perfectly able to digest it. Our tongue just thinks it's insanely sweet, so we don't need much of it. All that said, it's still not good for you either. It encourages your appetite, so you eat more and as a result still gain weight while consuming it. If your blood really was blue until it becomes oxygenated, then guess what? You'll be blue and dead. Racism against Asians is tolerated and sometimes even encouraged because they have no social protection like other minorities do. That they should spay and neuter their pets. That a no-kill shelter will still euthanize extremely ill or extremely aggressive animals. That the $700 dog they just adopted from a puppy mill is probably no more purebred or healthy than a rescue or shelter animal. And that they should stop supporting people who bring more animals into the world, which results in animal overpopulation and higher euthanasia rates. God, I love working in animal welfare. Edit. I want to make it clear that I support euthanasia in certain cases, and I disagree with kill and no-kill labels. I also fully support my local state-run animal shelter that has a live release rate of about 75%. Yes, they have to euthanize for space. It's heartbreaking for everyone involved. But these are good people working in a bureaucracy with limited resources doing everything they can. The goal of my organization is to end the euthanasia of adoptable animals. You can help with this by spaying, neutering, donating, volunteering, fostering, adopting, and educating those around you. Tired of explaining why it takes so long for me to shower? Schizophrenics do not have multiple personalities. That would be multiples personality disorder, or as it is known now in the DSM, dissociative identity disorder. TV shows and movies seem to have trouble with this one a lot. Just because something has natural ingredients or is gluten-free doesn't make it good. You know what else is gluten-free? Crack. Chrome and IE are just browsers, like cars that are used to drive on the internet. Neither of them is the internet. To be able to suck it up and forget about it is physically impossible with PTSD. I am mute but not deaf. Just because I can't verbally call you an asshole doesn't mean I didn't just hear you comment behind my back. Subreddit. First, thank you all for the questions and support. Who knew the internet could be nice? Now for some frequently asked questions, since I feel bad about not responding but duck if I don't want to say over and over the same thing. I list the use of my vocal cords due to an accident. I cannot whisper. I do not use sign language. There is no one I know who knows it or is willing to learn. I use paper and pen or text to speech on my phone. I will not do an AMA because this is about all the interesting info about it and I don't want to dig around in some memories about the accident. Again, thanks for all of those up arrows. You guys are awesome. There's a huge difference between the common use of the word theory and the scientific use of the word theory. The toxicology report for the Miami zombie showed that he was not on bath salts. The only drug found in his system was weed. Edit for source. For the last goddamn time. I am Australian, which means I don't give two flying ducks about what your ducking constitution says. If I use the phrase free speech, I am talking about the ducking ideal, not whatever bullet legal protection you Yanks get. I don't want to hear about how it only applies to the government, or how it doesn't apply to hate speech, or any other legal malarkey, comma. The admin POW Victoria FPH controversy was really annoying for me, okay? That a theory doesn't mean it's a guess or it's not supported. Gravity is a ducking theory, but I don't see you jumping out a 50-story building to test it every day. Thought I wish you would. The difference between poisonous and venomous. Edit. To the many inboxes about how often I have to say this. I have kept a lot of snakes etc over my lifetime and people always ask if they're poisonous. None anymore, but still. Also, I see it all the time on Reddit. I don't correct them but bored of seeing it wrong. To my relatives, diet sodas are not healthy at all. Also, I'm not starving. I'm a runner. Just because humans did not evolve into having wings does not mean that evolution is bullet and it was all made by God in 6 days. Sigh. Yes, I am a twin. Yes, we look just alike. No, it doesn't hurt me when he feels pain. Edit. I'm gonna clarify, I mean I can't physically feel his pain. That is not to mean that I'm apathetic if my brother got, say, smacked in the face. The detrimental effects of alcohol exceed that of cannabis. Oil does not come from dinosaurs. No. Plastic dinosaurs are not made from dinosaurs. Yes, it's organic matter, but we are talking algae, not big dinosaurs becoming oil. Google's Deep Dream looks cool, but it is not anything new, amazing or profound. Computers are not that hard to build and maintain at all. The amount of people I know who refuse to get into it because PCs are too much effort. That my Android Wear isn't an Apple Watch. That we did not come from monkeys, as many people who refuse to accept the theory of evolution like to say, but we shared a common ancestor with all primates. Science accepting new information and altering its conclusions is a strength, not a weakness. The fuel doesn't need to burn at the melting point of steel to cause structural damage FFS. There is a difference between a hotel and a motel. Hotels have internal doors to guest rooms, and motels have external doors to rooms. Just because a hotel is lower quality does not somehow make it a motel. Asia is not a country. No, I do not speak Asian. Yes, South Korea is in Asia. And no, not everyone is Chinese and or eats dog. The loud minority doesn't represent the silent majority. I have autism. You don't look autistic, you don't seem autistic. What does an autistic person look like? Autism is a spectrum from very mild to mentally retarded. 1. I don't hate country music or have anything against any genre as a whole. I just don't like it. 2. My straight edge lifestyle simply means that drugs and alcohol are not for me. I don't enjoy them. I don't give a shit if other people do. It doesn't bother me. And in fact, I don't think that drug users should be considered criminals. That ISIS and its offshoots represent Islam about as much as the Ku Klux Klan and the LRA represents Christianity and Maoist rebels and the Shining Path represent atheism. Mum. I have depression. You ungrateful little it. Sigh. Dad. I have depression. Then get undepressed. IT doesn't work that way. Dad. Don't get me wrong. The above is a massive exaggeration and I love both my parents and all. But seriously, the amount of people that think that depression can be solved with a hug and comforting words is just bloody frustrating. Look, I want to be like you. I want to be happy. I want to be able to experience joy again. But I can't. Past experiences of bullying, rejection, prejudice, homophobia towards my bisexuality and backstabbing has led what once was a young boy who had ideals and dreams into a cynical, shattered, paranoid and miserable mental wreck shell of his former self. All I want is a normal life. All I want is to be able to naturally smile and to sleep without crying. But every day I have to put up with the constant torture within my own head, my demons. Many a time I have considered ending myself. But I just can't bring myself to. I don't want my girlfriend, parents and my younger siblings to suffer. I can't even fathom the pain it would bring them to have me die, especially when I'm only 15 and still may have some sort of future, if there is any. I'm constantly torn. I can't walk by a high spot without thinking of jumping from it, but I can't, because I don't want to bring more stress into my family. You have it lucky. You can wake up with a smile and enjoy life. I envy you. All I can do is soldier on through and see how far I can weather the pain before I finally snap. The pay gap is a myth and can be explained that it is basically averages taken that do not consider the different lifestyles of people. Edit. For people looking for proof of this myth, see Sagan's video. Vegeta is the prince of all Saiyans. Up is a movie about an old man, a talking dog, and a boy scout. They go on a flying adventure in a floating house. Why does everyone keep asking me what Up is? Schrodinger's cat is not both dead and alive at the same time. Quantum superposition is a model fit for our puny human senses, not a literal representation of the universe. Schrodinger made the thought experiment to show how absurd the notion was scaled up to plainly observable life, but everyone and their mother takes it literally.